Hey, look out. It's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
On Facebook Live and on the YouTube is Claudia Cantrell there. She is a life coach, Christian coach, and she's married to Dr. David Cantrell, who we'll catch up with in a few weeks. But we've got the better half, I guess, as they say, right? Claudia, how are you?
Absolutely. You got the better half. Fabulous.
It's been too long. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you. You know, we just can't see each other in person because of this problem that we're all experiencing, and we're having to just wait and see when we can get together.
Well, I went
pandemic, everybody.
I went back to see the date when we had you guys on the show together, and can you believe it was April 3rd, which
No.
I think it really hadn't, the numbers hadn't escalated. I don't think it was at its peak. I think it was beginning and there were issues, but it's been a while. So we wanted to catch up and see how you guys are doing. So, and you did mention on your Facebook page that you have the top 10 books to read if you're bored. Do you find that people that you're talking to, the most of them are bored, or do you find that there's a higher percentage that have figured out, well, you know, I might as well just do something productive? Now, Dan and I, we're not doing anything.
We're not productive at all.
No. Why?
Yeah.
No. You know, it varies. Some people really enjoy just doing things around the house, but for the most part, they're frustrated. And there's just so much cooking you can do and so much laundry you can do. And it's just kind of like, I'm done. So I just made a list of my favorite books that will capture you and hold your attention, and they're fun and easy to read. And I just put them on the Facebook page for Cantrell Christian Coaching. And you can see it there and just click it and you can download the list. But they're easy and fun.
Now, if they're easy to read, for me at least, that would be a comic book. So what kind of suggestions do you have on there?
What's the comic book, Brent?
The first one is The Epicenter, which is Joel Rosenberg. And the second one is The Harbinger from Jonathan Cahn. They're both incredible, both Messianic Jewish men. It's just it's a fiction book, but it's based on reality. Okay, so it was really amazing because when Jonathan Cahn wrote Epicenter, he wrote it right before 9/11, and he actually had a plane hit the building. And so it was very funny when it came out because the Secret Service and FBI all pulled him in and said, okay, what's going on? What do you know? And he said, I don't know anything. This has just happened. So it was really something. They had to wait to release it just a little bit because they found out it was identical pretty much to what had happened.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing.
You said the other was The Harbinger. What'd you say? The Harbinger?
Harbinger.
Yeah. Remind me what that means. Is that a twin? Is that a double?
No, it's a warning.
A warning.
Okay. And there's harbingers that Israel was warned over and over again. And we are following in Israel's path. And so Jonathan Cahn goes through that and how we are identical with Israel right along the path of their warnings. The U.S. is getting their warnings. Basically, it's straighten up. And it's pretty amazing. You won't be able to put the book down, but it's done in a fiction way so that it's easy to read. It'll hold your attention, and they're both just incredible writers.
So that's 2 of the 10 books that you've got, and you can find that on Facebook on Claudia Cantrell on Facebook or Cantrell Christian Coaching.
Cantrell Christian Coaching.
Okay, so you can find those 10 books and breeze through those, and then I'm sure Claudia will have 10 more for you, right?
Yep. I'll do what I can. Absolutely. There's even 2 books on there that will help you understand your spouse. So
I need that.
do that.
Yeah.
We did it in a pre-marriage counseling, and it was just phenomenal. So easy to read, fun, but they're true.
Okay.
Very true.
So understand your spouse. Does that mean, at what period in your marriage? All the entire period, or is the beginning, the end, the middle? What?
Yeah, it's basically how a woman really thinks, which is a little scary, but it's that's more frightening, actually. And it's how a man thinks, which is more frightening.
Yeah.
And so It's a very thin book. It was written by Shanti and Jeff Feldman, I believe.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
And you can get it for couples, and you get both books in one, and that works out really, really well. But they're thin books, but it really is correct. That's the funny part. There's one page in there that said that they did a survey, and if you ask men, what do women really want out of two things? Would it be financial security, or would it be they want to know that they're truly loved? And the men all said, oh, financial security. And women would go, no, that's not it. We want to know we're loved. And it's just amazing how it really does capture what a woman really does want and think, and how she really thinks, and the man too. And David read it his first and underlined what was correct about men and him, which was almost every single thing. And I read mine first for women and highlighted everything that was right about me, and it was all true. You can use it anytime. It's phenomenal.
Well, we know that that David is Mr. Wonderful, that he's perfect, and he really doesn't need any adjustment there.
Yeah.
But what
absolutely perfect.
What is something that you pulled out of it for yourself? And if you can speak for David, you don't have to. What is one thing that really stood out to him? Not necessarily that he'd been doing on purpose, but maybe something that you don't realize, because you just said men basically think, okay, financial security, that's why we work like crazy, right? To provide for our family and that kind of thing. But really, our wives, and I'll bet if we step out, our children as well, really want to know that they're loved.
That's true. It's been a while since I've read it, but for me to find out that men see, if they ask you to go for a walk outside, just let's go for a walk, honey. And I would be tired or say, no, I don't really. I made myself do that because it was a very engaging time for men. They really loved it. It was a closeness. It was just, it meant something different to them than it did to me.
Yeah.
True for you? Would you say that's true? Okay.
Yeah, I would say so. And I would say if I said, hey, Kathy, let's go for a walk, and she said, no, I don't really want to. Probably deep down, I would take that as rejection, almost as, no, I don't want to do what you want to do. So yeah, that's a good point. I like that.
Yeah, it brings up a lot of stuff like that. And I think one of the major things really had to do with what I was telling you earlier about him. We really want to show me love, but it's full of what we really think and how we actually, when we say something, you're perceiving it one way and we're actually meaning it another.
Right.
And then another book on there that I loved, and of course that's the 5 love languages. And it's incredible. So anybody listening thinks they're getting ready to separate or get a divorce, get the 5 love languages first, because you may be misinterpreting his love for you, and the whole back and forth, vice versa. And it really has saved a lot of marriages.
That's so good. Claudia Cantrell, she's a life coach. Cantrell Christian Coaching.com is the place to go to. Your Facebook page as well. As you mentioned, that's where her list of books are. All right, Claudia, let's talk a little bit about Christian coaching. How's it going during this challenge? We're still in challenging times, right? And also you've got some deals for folks that are signing up with you.
I do. I have some deals because COVID has just taken everybody's finances away. Coaching is going great. I absolutely love it. Training is completely finished. I just finished it last week. Been coaching for a good while, though. They let you start to coach a little earlier. And right now, I'm trying to get my credentialing hours. So I'm offering an opportunity for people to get me to coach them for a really discounted rate of practically nothing. And then at the same time, I can serve you, but I can get my credentialing hours that way. And I'm going to run it that way through October the 15th. And so it's a great time to really explore what you want coaching about. The clients have said it increases their interpersonal relationships, that they have more job opportunities, more career opportunities. It's just, it goes on and on and on. Their confidence is up. They can change your life. You can get the dream that you always wanted, but you didn't know how, and you didn't know how to move forward. So coaching is really for the person that says, okay, I'm mentally healthy. It's time for me to do something with my life. Like, what's next? What now? And there are a lot of people out there that are saying, what's next and what now, because they've lost their jobs.
Yeah.
And I'm actually a career coach too, as well as leadership. So it kind of all goes together. But they don't know what's going to come up next. I had a girl yesterday call and what's coaching. And she said, I share your heart, first. She said, I don't know what I'm going to do. So that's where you just you coach them with that. You don't give advice and you don't tell them what to do or even make any suggestions, but you do coach with very powerful questions, very direct statements, and a lot of listening, because I'll use Zoom, but I use the video off because I hear the voice better and the inflection of the voice very, very quickly. And I knew I'd hit a nerve with a different client yesterday because the crying started, even though she didn't want me to maybe hear it, but I did. And that's huge and that's powerful. And emotions are normal. But when you hit that emotion, you know that you've hit something that you need to really talk about.
Right.
I love it. I really do. I absolutely love it.
That's really good. We got to take a break here in a second. But when I ask you, there's a lot of folks of all ages that have lost their jobs or their career, or the older folks, and I say older like me, have been asked to retire early. Folks that really, really wanted to stay on a few more years so that they could have a huge nest egg or a good nest egg so that they could retire in peace and in security. But they've had to pull the plug, pull the trigger, whatever. What are you saying to the older folks, or what would you say to us older folks in that place?
About getting ready to retire? Is that what you're
just or even being let go from a place that, they just had to cut back?
Well, there's a number of things. I think that person has to look and see, okay, what do you envision for my future? One of the first things I ask every single client is real simple. What matters? Just what matters to you? Because everybody's different. And if you get a lot of things bombarding you, I should do this, or I should do this, or maybe I could do this, what really matters? And that's where you start with the client. What matters? So what is your long-term goal? And maybe you look at the long-term goal, maybe it's 2 years from now, or maybe it's a year from now. But then we take it and we break it down into small goals along the way. And you start going forward. A coach goes forward. We explore what you want to do in retirement. What matters to you in retirement? I asked David that not too long ago. I coached him, he didn't realize it, but there's a lot of questions I'll ask. He doesn't really pick it up. Oh, that sounds like a coaching question. Well, it might be. Anyway, he said, he's struggling with that retirement phase too, because he's looking at it in the next year or two probably, and that's probably going to get out now, but we don't know exactly. And he doesn't know what he's going to do. So he's a little bothered with what is he going to do? So what matters meant a lot to him, what matters now and what matters later for you and your spouse, or for you alone. What matters? Do you want to give some of your time to a 401c3? Do you want to do what do you want to do? And that's kind of the limit on that. We can coach anything at any time. I don't have to. You're the expert of your life. You, not me. So I can coach anybody on any topic, because I'm not the expert, you are, and I'm not going to tell you what to do. But it's an amazing process, amazing. And usually it's an hour a week, and you can. Andy Stanley said, coaching gets you further faster. So that's what I would tell somebody looking at retirement or getting ready. What matters to you? When you leave, what matters now and what matters in your future, and then you go forward toward that.
That's so good. Claudia Cantrell, it's CantrellChristianCoaching.com. As you heard her, she talked about career coaching as well. She does it all. Claudia, we look forward to talking to both of you in a couple of weeks. And, you guys just be blessed. You are such a blessing, and to continue to stay healthy. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.